have a quick question for you all before I begin this teaser today, and that is, do you think that I like this game at all? I know we already covered the Warmongers, but they happen to be my favorite faction, so this shirt, thank you, Cardboard Alchemy. You guys are the best. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the 4th out of 5 teasers. We only have one more teaser next week, and that is it. Then campaign launches, and we are ready and set to go. So today it's gonna be super short because if you have seen the preview from last week, I pretty much covered the general overview of this entire game. There's an entire playlist now that I will link down below. If you're not familiar with it, make sure you dive into those first, because today we're gonna zoom through the alliance spaces and get straight into the Darkstar Acolytes abilities. As my friends from Before You Play would say, if you would turn your attention to the center of the table. Now you'll notice here how there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these purple bases called alliance bases. They are equivalent to ruins in Dwellings of Eldervale in that they are your starting map tiles. You will always have these in every single game, and there'll always be this starting set of tiles. They won't be in this order, but they'll be randomized across the map just like this. Okay, now first up is the Odessa Field. If you launch your ship here, you can buy 1 yellow module, which is the Commerce module, and 1 blue module, which is the Civilization module. If you buy one or the other or both, you'll get to go up those respective tracks. Now for the Maximus Field, exact same idea, except you get to choose between green and brown. You then have the Shipyard up next. This one allows you to repair your ships that have been broken from battle, or also repair damaged modules. You can also upgrade your ships too using the Shipyard. And then we have 3 others here. The Development Office is exactly what is implied in the name. This one allows you to build a development. Number 5 is the Trade Hub. And now you'll notice here how there is a leader on this particular alliance base. You actually start out with leaders on every single alliance base, and this is how you rescue your leaders throughout the game. So this one, the Yellow faction still has a leader remaining on the Trade Hub, aka Yellow hasn't gone here just yet. So for this Trade Hub, you get to turn in 2 resources for 2 credits. So 2 of any resource for 2 credits, and credits is the wild resource of the game. And then last but not least, you have the Monolith of Ancients. This one also allows you to convert 2 resources into tactics cards. Now you might be wondering why, Tim, why did you tell us about the alliance base as well? That's because for this faction, unlike any of the other factions that you've seen so far, every other faction has had 2 distinct abilities. This one only has 1, and it's directly correlated to those alliance bases. So the Darkstar Acolytes have an ability called Ghostly Presence, just 1 ability. This one says at the beginning of your turn, if you have no ships in your launch bay, you may choose 1 unoccupied alliance base and perform its action as if you played a ship there. And then you also get to regroup. Now, as you can imagine, this is a really powerful ability. You pretty much get an extra action every 3rd, every 4th, every 5th turn consecutively, just like that, as you get more and more ships. As they get stronger, this ability really gets dampened a lot by endgame. Now, there are other abilities actually from a special upgrade. This one, they have an upgraded science vessel. This one is called the Prophet. So for the Darkstar Acolytes, they have a prophet called Dark Matter. This one, since you know by now, has a range of 2 and a weapons of 2, and their ability is called Dark Matter. This one says, if the ship is in the scrapyard when you regroup, all of your ships in the scrapyard may be used to activate modules. Now let me repeat that one more time. All of your ships in the scrapyard may be used to activate modules. That is insane because normally you need to repair each ship one by one in order to have them regroup into your launch bay and then activate different modules. But here, as long as they get the Prophet, once they have the Prophet in their hands, it is almost game over for any kind of regrouping activation, because that means every single ship that they use is pretty much active. They're pretty much undead zombies that get to be reactivated as long as their Prophet is in the graveyard. So it makes you question whether you should attack the Prophet, whether you should kill off their units, whether you should avoid them. And it introduces a ton of very, very interesting decisions as you are playing against or with the Darkstar Acolytes. As you can tell, the Darkstar Acolytes are very different from any other faction that we've talked about so far. They utilize a very specific part of the game that hasn't been touched before. So let me know what you all think about the Darkstar Acolytes in the comments below. Is this a faction that you see yourself playing, or is it one of the other 3 that we've talked about so far? And with that, I will see you all next week for one final faction reveal. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later.